Hello and welcome to The Insider, a show designed to clue you into the biggest news, events, and announcements inside the video games industry. Discussing with you some things you may know, some things you may not, and glue holds it all together is a little bit of my own opinion. My name is Paul James, thank you very much for watching, and let's keep for the episode.
The new era draws ever closer.
So let's talk E3 Best of Show 2019. In this episode, I'm going to break down the top 5 games that I personally, not representative player 2, I personally think were the best games at E3 2019, and then we'll outline a few honourable mentions. Let's get into it.
This is the turning point.
We're beginning proceedings with number 5, and that is Doom Eternal. Bethesda and id put on a great showcase for that game at E3 2019. In the conference, via plenty of gameplay, show floor, people are loving it, things are looking really, really good for this game. November 22nd cannot come closely enough. Yes, I had some question marks as to why they didn't show the grappling hook being used in combat more, but we saw it's plenty of uses in terms of platforming, and it's ticking a lot of boxes. Hell, there's even some Celeste style gameplay in a 3D space that they're using these grappling hooks for. It's going to be really interesting, and I cannot wait to play that game. Number 4, we're going to be talking about this game for quite some time. I'm talking about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever the hell it ends up being called. Maybe it's not even Breath of the Wild, but the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Got a great gameplay trailer. Trailer, not gameplay. It's looking really cool. Breath of the Wild is one of the best games of that particular year, only behind Horizon Zero Dawn. But brilliant game. Cannot wait to get more of it. The Zelda franchise is near and dear to me, and I feel like we're going to be talking about this game for quite some time. Number 3, Watch Dogs Legion. Now, I would not have picked this going into the conference. Watch Dogs, the original game, didn't like it whatsoever. Watch Dogs 2, the tone didn't quite gel. I respected the game, it was much better, it was ticking a lot of boxes. The tone still didn't quite click with me, it was trying to be a bit too edgy, and that frustrated me. But the gameplay was solid, the concepts were great, and Watch Dogs Legion is taking it so much further, and it's got a far better personality about it. The fact that you can bounce from essentially NPC to NPC, they become PCs? Playable characters? They're going to be playable. You can bounce between these different people for a myriad of different reasons, and they all have personality. They've got gameplay systems driving them. It really works. Helen is the best part of that conference. I can't wait to play as old Granny Helen. And look, I'm really excited for that game. It's showing a lot of promise, and March isn't that far away, so I'm really keen on it. Let's get to it.
Let's unfuck this world.
Number 2, I'm pretty biased here, I've been talking about this game for quite some time, Luigi's Mansion 3. Luigi's Mansion 3, look, it's not the most in-depth, it's not going to require the most skill, there's not so many really deep systems involved with the game, but just what it does really well. It has a great personality, and it looks to be maintaining that same level of personality, that same level of charm and humour, and those gameplay systems are still just clinging together really, really well. And it's making Luigi's Mansion 3 look really, really good. The only disappointment I had is the fact that it's coming 2019 and they still didn't slap a date on it. So I'm hoping for a Nintendo Direct dedicated to the game or something at some point soon, because I want to know when I'm playing that game. You managed to date Animal Crossing for March 2020, so why haven't you dated a 2019 game? Come on, Nintendo, let's get this going.
What will befall our missing Mario and friends, and his dear brother Luigi? Their fate rests in your hands. Luigi's Mansion 3.
The best game of E3 2019, and I don't think I'm alone in this. Final Fantasy VII Remake. What Square-Enix showed at the beginning of that conference was phenomenal. There was so much negativity surrounding that game, and for good reason. The way they had pitched it, and the story behind that game, and what had been going through the development of that game, had been awful. And I think, understandably, myself and several Final Fantasy fans and fans of Final Fantasy VII were sitting back and wondering how they'd be able to translate this traditional turn-based JRPG and bring it into the current day and make it relevant, make it work. And everything they showed worked. Visually, it looked stunning. Those gameplay systems, it's far more action-based, but it brings in those different aspects. Materia is still present. There's a turn-based component there, and it works, and you can access it often. Everything just clicked. Am I looking forward to the fact that I'm only going to play to the end of Midgar? Not so much. But the game itself looks amazing. I want to get it in my hands, and then I want to know when I can get part 2.
You're not real. You're... Cloud, I have a favor to ask of you. Run away. You have to leave. You have to live. You bastard! Yeah! Hold on to that hatred.
As we wrap up, a few honourable mentions, and I've got a little list here, so bear with me as I look off screen every now and then just to get those games back in my head. Gods and Monsters comes from Ubisoft, looking really good. I was disappointed that we didn't get any gameplay given the February release date next year. To have introduced this game with a trailer and then not shown any gameplay, it was quite off-putting. But the game itself looks brilliant. Comes from the Assassin's Creed Odyssey development team, and just get it in my life. This could be a lot of fun, but more innocent in nature. Roller Champions was another game that Ubisoft showed, and I feel like it has the opportunity to do what Rocket League once did, and I guess still does in a lot of ways. It's going to be a challenger to that throne. It's got personality, it's got style, it's got pick up and play. It looks really quite good. Cyberpunk 2077 belongs on that top 5. I'm sure I could think of a game that it knocks off. The only downside is that the demo, like last year, is behind closed doors, so all I've got to work with was a fantastic, admittedly, trailer starring Keanu Reeves and has great personality, and the things that I'm hearing from those who've been behind closed doors with it are saying, yep, by far and away the best thing. When it releases next year, it is going to win every possible award, and that's great, and that's so exciting, and I don't know if that'll be the case because The Last of Us Part 2 hopefully comes out in 2020, but it's going to be a brilliant game, and I just want it in my life. But the thing is, they just didn't show me anything. I'm assuming in the next few weeks we'll see some gameplay demo that pops up online, maybe CD Projekt posts it themselves, and it won't be fueled by an audio leak from Shane Satterfield, but I can't wait to play that game, and I just want to see it. Ghostwire Tokyo was a game that Bethesda showed off. I'm not into horror games. Mikami games, he brought on Resident Evil, he's brought on a lot of fear and dread when it comes to the thing, and I was expecting The Evil Within 3 to come from him, and it wasn't. It was a new IP, and it still got some horror components to it, but it's more of an action-based experience, and it really, really actually spoke to me. And that says a lot, because I am kind of afraid of that genre. It's a genre that I try to avoid. Matt Hewson keeps torturing me by giving me Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Remake 2 to go back and play and review for Player 2, and I hate him for it. Matt, I hate you for it. But I can't deny that this game looks really, really good. I'm really excited to learn more about it, whenever that may be. Borderlands 3 was present. We got to see some gameplay from the new characters. It's all I needed to get from this conference. Doesn't belong in the top 5 because I already my expectations are already set, and it's meeting those, but it didn't exceed those. Jedi Fallen Order, the gameplay demo that was showed at EA Play wasn't fantastic. It was a little bit on the bland side. The systems looked good, the way it plays looked good, but the scenario they put us in was pretty dull and boring. The trailer that was showed at the Xbox conference, however, really demonstrated what that game could be and can be and is. And I just wish they'd picked a demo that maybe more reflected some of the highs that we come to expect from a Star Wars game or movie or TV show, and had that kind of reflected in our gameplay experience, because it wasn't present in that vertical slice that we were given. The Outer Worlds is looking great. It's an Obsidian game. It's coming to Game Pass for Xbox, so that's really cool. I might pick it up there, save myself $100. But The Outer Worlds is looking brilliant. It's well documented that I'm not a Fallout guy. This has Fallout sort of traits, but it has its own personality that is clicking with me, and I'm really excited for it. Lastly, there's Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That game, I played it at PAX last year. it's already, as far as I'm concerned, a Game of the Year contender for 2020. No matter what happens with Cyberpunk or Last of Us or a whole host of games that I've already mentioned in this episode, no matter what happens, that is an instant Game of the Year contender for me. And it's just going to be a matter of how deeply does it affect me, like in here. Because that was one of the great strengths of the original game. And if they can manage to harness that same personality and that same storytelling and that same emotion, then it instantly belongs in that conversation at the end of the year next year. I'm disappointed that it's going to be conversation at the end of next year and not the end of this year. But it's one to watch. And that's it for that list. I'm sure there's plenty of other great games that you enjoyed. Please outline them below.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
That concludes this episode of The Insider. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. All those buttons are down below here, and hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes Patched, The Insider, Player 2 Plays, Late Game Review, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. There's some awesome stuff there. Please be sure to go and check it out. Again, subscribe. Make sure it pops up in your feed whenever something new goes live. The website, player2.net.au, has our E3 hub where there's news and predictions and previews and reviews and outlines of the different conferences. There's heaps of stuff there, so please be sure to go and check that out. That's player2.net.au. Patreon.com/player2au is your opportunity to support Player 2 and what we're doing. By kicking a few bucks at the lower tiers, you'll get early access to episodes of this and Patched. Higher tiers, you get monthly episode exclusives and the ability to join us on the Player 2 Pixelcast. So please consider checking that out as well. Finally, there's Twitter. You can find me at Paul James Games, the website, Player2AU. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Once again, that is E3 coverage most likely done unless something massive happens between now and the end of the event. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.